And we are back. Welcome back to Something Else Today podcast. I am your host, DJ Mahlatsi, and this episode is proudly brought to you by Khemer, which is a South African non-alcoholic ginger beer brand founded by Mpho Mohaswa. It is created to bring back the nostalgic traditional taste of homemade ginger beer in a convenient modern format. It has grown from small batch production to being stocked in major retail stores such as your Spar, Checkers, ShopRite, and Food Lovers Market. So today's episode is a special one as we move into the festive season. Many families across South Africa are preparing for Christmas by traveling home, reconnecting with loved ones, as well as participating in long-standing cultural traditions. To help us explore the deeper meaning of this time, we are joined by someone who embodies the blend of modern life, traditional values, and spiritual wisdom. So Dr. Ntsiki, a medical doctor, traditional wellness enthusiast, and a woman who has been married for 17 years and lives deeply within both her marital and ancestral traditions. Hi, Dr. Ntsiki, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about this episode.
I'm excited to have you.
Thank you.
So, how are you finding the camera? I see yours is almost out.
I love it. It's really amazing. I think I'm going to need it in like 5 liters because, or like a 12 pack, 24 packs. It's really great. I'm loving it.
Definitely amazing. So I'm going to definitely let them know so that they can also have it delivered to your door, so you can also order from them personally, because this is my recommendation.
I love that.
Amazing. So today we're going to talk about, a bunch of things that happen within the festive season, within the traditions, and within our normal things that we do around Christmas, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you normally do around Christmas time?
Right. So I think maybe just to kind of give a little bit of a background, just in a form of introduction, so that the listeners understand kind of what my traditions are around. So I am a medical doctor, I am a traditional healer, and yes, I've been married for 17 years. But over and above that, my husband is Islamic, right? And I'm Christian, and we have this beautiful religiously blended family. So the festive season for us is really just one of those times where we come together as a family. And what we try and do is kind of bring both my side of the family and his side of the family together with the kids and the cousins. So it's always a huge fest.
Amazing. So we are also joined by Ghost AC. Hi AC, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm also on my second bottle of I can't stop drinking this stuff. It's nice. Looking forward to. Oh, hang on. I don't think I want my mic. One sec.
Did you forget to put your own sound on? He's handling the sound. He forgot to actually.
Okay. That's it. I'm back. I was just saying the camera is nice. Looking forward to the episode, and I think it's an interesting mix of your family with the Islamic. So do you guys celebrate Christmas?
Yes,
at all? You do.
So
together
we celebrate Christmas together. We fast during Ramadan. We celebrate Eid together. So yes, my kids are growing up in a very diverse spiritual surrounding.
Is either one of you trying to sway them one way or the other?
Absolutely not.
You just let them make their own decision. That's nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. The thing is that I think what is really interesting or exciting is that we get so caught up in religion as opposed to raising kids that are spiritually sound and anchored in kind of like faith and belief. So I feel like personally that the more they know about spirituality and belief, then when they're old, they can make a decision on what they want. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, fasting on Ramadan. How is that? Oh, but I guess you've been doing it for 17 years. So it's
so at some point.
Listen, you can do it, I think, for I don't know how many years, but it is tough. It is definitely tougher in the summer seasons when the days are long and they're hot and you can't drink water. But there's just something amazing by the end of it, something renewed in your spirit, renewed in your body, because also you know that fasting is actually a health practice. You know, I know we've always kind of done it very much for a spiritual, but it's actually a health practice. It gives your body time to regenerate its cells, because when you're constantly eating, your body's working. But when you fast, you give your body time actually to regenerate itself.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because I know the new fad is the intermittent fasting. Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I am on intermittent fasting
Are
most
you?
of the days. I do 16 hours.
Nice.
Because I get it because I injured my leg and I couldn't run. So I just went into fasting mode so that I don't eat what I cannot burn at the gym.
Absolutely.
So that's actually, so now from your perspective, what is the significance of Christmas beyond the religious aspect?
Right. So with that basis, and the reason I kind of wanted to make the understanding of, it's not just about the Christmas, but this time, especially for us, it's our summer break. It's time that we go back to our families, go back to kind of coming together, that union in essence, or that unity of the family being together. It's a time of just letting go of how the year has been. It's a time of being with loved ones and actually taking in that love and that energy. So it's really not always just about the religion, but it's actually just a time for families to come together.
So what is the importance of going home during the Christmas time?
That's such a good question, because we don't do it as often anymore. You know, we live now in silos. I mean, I'm from KZN, for example, and my husband is also from KZN. But, you know, we have friends that we kind of moved here with that will talk about how they haven't been home in years, you know. But the significance about it is that when we go back home, right, we are able to be in, number one, with our loved ones. Number two, we are able to be which means where your umbilical cord fell, which means that there is an ancestral importance to it. Being reunited with your ancestors, being able to be with your family, being able to almost work through things that you might not have been able to work through as a family because you were apart, maybe the things weren't working out. But this is a time to almost come together and be united in that loving environment and creating that loving environment.
So you feel it's important to go back to your homestead because you need to reconnect with your ancestors.
Absolutely.
Do you have to reconnect with them traditionally, or is being there enough, setting foot in there enough?
Setting foot there is enough, you know, because we don't all practice our ancestral or traditional or cultural things, you know, whatever they are, whatever your culture is. We don't all practice it. But the fact that you go back to your parents' home or your grandparents' home, being there is more than enough.
AC?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Ukunyathela emagcekeni is what they say. And I think, you know, nowadays, because people have jobs, they have to think about leave days, and then you kind of live in the city, but you never explore the city. So some people feel like December is time to actually enjoy the city, so they make that excuse to not go home or be with their families. But I think it's important even to take a weekend and just, you know, go be with your family. Christmas time is, I think it's that time. And then New Year's, you can groove then. You know what I mean? But I think Christmas, we can reserve it for family. Yeah.
So let's move into the cultural meaning of gathering, feasting, and cleansing, and honoring the lineage during that time of Christmas. So let's talk about that. So what are your opinions on that?
Okay, so my personal opinions is, number one, I agree, definitely goes that we don't always have time. And some people work during December. I know when I was still in clinical medicine, this is the busiest time, right, in a hospital. You can only but imagine. So it's not always... We're not saying that if you don't go on Christmas, you shouldn't go any other time, but it's always about unyathela, just going back, finding that time to go back home and be with family. And more times than not, families are gathered during December. But if you guys find it during Easter or you find it during other holidays, that's amazing. So, number one, going back and Unyathela is the first thing. But also, it's the end of the year, right? You've been through so much, so many things have happened. You almost are seeking a closure to this year, right? Some kind of way to close off the year. So cleansers is what I normally recommend. I recommend cleansers to end your year off or to start your year off. But I really believe that closing your year off with a cleanse, because it's almost an act that enables you to let go of whatever it is you might have been through this year, all the things that were difficult, all the things that you struggled with, you put them down and you let them go and they flow the river and you're almost renewed. It is symbolic, but it's also an energy thing, that you surround yourself with this positive energy by letting go of stagnant energy that was surrounding you prior to that. So it is also a good time to end off the year like that. And being home also helps you, because then when you are home, just being there and your ancestors are there and they're surrounding you, if you are a believer in that way, like in traditional things, then it's also a time where you can talk to your ancestors and be like, this year has been like this. This is what I would like for the next year. This is what I am kind of demanding for the next year, and setting forth. Yeah.
So what kind of cleansing can someone do per se? Do you have like practical examples that I can do myself personally without having to go see a traditional healer, for example?
Absolutely. So water on its own is more than enough.
Oh my God.
Just water, and you have just speak over the water. So water is life, right? Almost more than 70% of our bodies are made of water, because water is life, water is energy. So speaking over water and just using that as a cleanse and speaking over life over yourself is the first thing. The next part is that you can use salts, different types of salts. I know there was a trend a few years ago, I don't know if it's still a thing, where people were like, pink water this, pink water that. It really is just salt. It really just is salt that people use to cleanse themselves. So rough salt, just plain rough salt, works just as well as the pink salt. And all it is about speaking life over something. Speaking life over the water and you use it. Speak life over the water and the salt and you use that. And as you use it, you speak life over your own life and over the things that you want to see in your life. It's a form of prayer. It's a form of meditation. It's a form of upahla. All these things and these practices are very similar. So those are things you can do even frequently outside of the end of the year. If you're feeling a bit like your energy is a bit off, things are a bit off, pray over some water, put salt in it, wash, cleanse yourself.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about salt water. Praying over it was a cleansing ritual. So, you just take it, mix water with salt and drink it, and your stomach will be runny.
Yes.
Is that also a form of cleansing?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, okay.
It is. It is. I mean, you're cleansing your gut, right? Because, and it's a good thing you're bringing it up, because also in December, we eat all sorts of things, right? So, yes, it is a form
it can be done in Jan, this one.
Yeah. or intimately, like maybe after Christmas, before New Year's, I don't know.
And then after New Year's, because, there's a lot happening in your stomach.
Exactly. Lots happening. We're drinking a lot of things, khameri and other things, So, yeah, it also works well. And what actually works a little bit better is what is called pink Himalayan salt, because it also has certain minerals and stuff in it. So a teaspoon of that in warm water and you drink it, it causes a tummy flush. And the nice thing is that it doesn't then cause yes, it's just a flash and
it's done.
And it's done.
100%.
So you can do it frequently.
And I can do this by myself. I don't need a traditional certified person or traditional healer to speak over my water. I can speak over the water myself.
Absolutely. Because the thing is that, again, my belief, right? The way I believe it is that traditional healers, I believe, were there to kind of guide when you yourself are not hearing. Messages come to you first. There's no reason why your ancestors are going to leave you, if they feel like you need guidance. And then they're going to come to me to tell you, no, why? They would always speak to you first. And as a guide where you're feeling lost, then you go to someone and be like, you know what, I've been hearing the messages. Number one, I don't know how to interpret it. I'm not sure what's happening. Can you guide me here? That's generally what the practice was for.
Okay.
But the thing of everything must be done by a traditional, absolutely no. It's also like, when you go at home, those are not done by traditional healers. They are done by the heads of the family because they know how. So you don't need traditional healers.
You are one. What do you mean?
You really, I really say this so seriously because I feel like the practice is really abused. And because it is abused, then in turn, us as traditional healers are abusing people back, right? Because there's already like a high surplus of demand, right? And when there's a high surplus of demand, unfortunately, the risk is that there's going to be some kind of abuse happening. Unfortunately, that's just the economics of things, right? So there are things that you can do for yourself. It is your life, your ancestors, your vibrations, your spirit. It doesn't need Ntsiki to command it.
Is it your opinion that now, or let me say maybe in the past couple of years, it's become the in thing to do? Because I've seen, there's been conversations about all the celebrities that are becoming traditional healers. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's like a in thing to do, or maybe is there like a wider spiritual awakening that's causing more people to gravitate towards traditional healing, or is it just a fad, like you're saying, some people taking advantage of people's beliefs?
In all honesty, I think it's a combination of both. I definitely believe, if I had to just divide it into percentages, that 80% it's a wider spiritual awakening. I think it is a way that we are being guided back to our rooting, back to just some kind of sensibility, which I believe we've lost along the way. So yes, number one, I think 80% it's a wider spiritual awakening. Does it necessarily mean that we all need to twasa? Not necessarily, but that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day, because the thing is that spiritual awakening is really confusing, right? And it really does need to be guided. Because you don't know half the time what is happening, right? Or what these messages are that you're receiving. So I understand how then we end up all kind of twasering, because that's kind of like the avenue that's available at the moment for some kind of guidance. Right? I believe a few years from now, there will be schools that you can go to for kind of like spiritual guidance and how do I navigate this without necessarily needing to twasa. But that's how things go. When it turns, first we get it right, then we get it a bit wrong, and then we come back and we get it perfect. So the other 20%, absolutely, I do believe that there is some problems happening, both by individuals, but also by healers. I must take accountability for us as a group. Yeah. There is definitely also some misguided information happening. And the sad part is that it's caused by kind of like an economic need, right? And Uktwasisa, for example, has become one of the more lucrative ways to kind of make money.
It's very expensive to do that, yeah.
Why is it expensive?
No, it's not.
Oh, is it not?
It's not. But people want to twasa from popular people, right? So
Glem twasering.
Glem twasering.
I see you trying to get me into trouble, and I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we've lost the essence. There's no way that I'm going to find somebody on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and be like, oh my gosh, that's the person I'm going to go to. No, there are still things that are still pure, and spirituality is still a pure form of awakening, or an art, if I can use that word very loosely and very incorrectly. You're still going to be guided as to who you're supposed to be going to. You're still going to be guided as to what you're supposed to be doing and not doing. But if you're not going to use that discernment, and you're going to be kind of erratic or want things out of desperation, then unfortunately we might end up in the wrong hands, doing the wrong things.
So you might end up twasering when you don't have to twasa at all.
Yeah, when all you need is just some guidance, as, okay, this is meaning this. This means just your family needs to do this for you, or you need to do this for yourself, or you need to, slow down your life a little bit, meditate a bit, like there's just so many things that we don't do anymore. Like our lives are so rushed. Our lives are so rushed. And that's why kind of December is important. But we've also made December a rush, because then we go home, and then instead of wanting to be home or slightly with family, sifuna ukugrova, because also mhlambe we don't get the time to, I don't know. But
You don't know
our
what's going
lives are
on.
just a rush.
Kima 1K, lima 2K, right? It's the trend of the 1Ks and the 2Ks.
1Ks.
But now there's
I'm a
been
1K.
you're the first 1K to acknowledge it. Every time I tell them a 1K, we tell them a 1K, they're like,
No,
that is
guys,
not.
me, I live in truth. I don't lie to myself, because the thing is, if you understand your truth, you understand your problems, and therefore you know how to navigate them. You have to be honest with yourself. Me 1K, guys. Me 1K, me through and through. Me.
So now we come back to the role of Umakoti visiting the in-laws. Because now there's certain Makotis that are dreading to go home because they're not treated well when they go to their marital homes. They would rather go to their family homes instead of going to the marital home. And unfortunately, you are married now. Your surname is different. So how does you, as a Makoti, not visiting your in-laws impact you spiritually and your marriage as well spiritually?
Right. Sure. The thing is that my mom always says that aksikogin, which means it's not your home. It's not your parents' home. And if you are going to always navigate it like that, you'll be more merciful with how you are treated. I'm not saying it is right, but you'll understand it a bit more. You'll be okay with being there for the week and being treated however you're treated, because you know that this is not my home. I am married here. Yes, I must be cordial here. Yes, I must be nice. I must be everything. But I'm not going to be treated like how my parents treat me, right? And that's just the unfortunate truth. It's just, that's how it is. They're not your parents, they are your in-laws. That's why it's called in-laws, The importance of it, number one, is that it's important for your relationship, because it's time that you are able to be with your husband's family, be with your husband as well, the kids to get to know your husband's family. It is just that time. But also the ancestors of that household also get to embrace you. Because in my culture, I'm Zulu girl, Uma ushada uthela ngenyongo, which means that in essence you've kind of been somewhat cut off on the ancestral realm, on your parents' house, and you've been introduced to this. They're not completely cut off, but kind of like, these are kind of your new guides, or your added guides. So to be there is important, right? It's just for your marriage, for yourself, for the prosperity of your marriage, right? And when I speak prosperity, I don't only mean the well-being of your relationship, but also what good things that will come into your marriage. It's just something that you can do. It's not like you live there and they mistreat you for months and months. It's a weekend. It's a week. It's just that time that you go there. It really does so much also for your husband, that he knows that. And because husbands know, if you've been married long enough, husbands know that this is not the best place for you to be, and you probably are really just doing this for the good of this relationship. So he acknowledges it. And I truly believe it is a love language of sort. It's a love language of sort, to say that, look, I understand that this is your home and these are the people that you love, and I'm going to be here with them. But also, it should also be then the other way around as well, that somewhere in this December, we also then find time for hubby to then also go to the wife's home, and be there also for a weekend, or, or a day or two. But marriage is important, that we must reciprocate the love that we're given. And that's what kind of makes it lost. It can't be one way. It can't be that I'm, as a Makoti, because I'm Makoti, expected that I must always go there. It must be interchangeable.
100%. I do agree with that. But now, let's go back to, you say it's a weekend or a week, right? It's not months and months. What about those who've been living this month of terror of staying with their in-laws and they're not treated that well? What advice would you give that woman?
I'm not going to be diplomatic. I'm not known to be diplomatic. You need to move out. The quicker you do it, the better.
With the husband or even by yourself, you might as well.
I pay like kanjani by yourself with the husband.
Amangafuni ukuhamba ke kuzokenzakalani? Because angisho kibo lapha uthanda uma wakhe, uthanda usisi wakhe, but usisi wakhe noma wakhe manje sebatholi ihelper entsha.
No, guys.
But like, sorry, I tried to continue the Zulu, it lost the like they do, because I've heard a couple of ladies complain about that.
They do. Look, the honesty of it, or the unfortunate truth of it, is that some circumstances dictate that you're unable to move out, right? Be it for whatever reason. But what I can say, honestly, is that that environment is not pro your marriage, unfortunately. It's not pro your marriage because, number one, you can't run your own household, you know, because it is not your household, right? It's not your house. But like, you're a bull now and you also want to have your territory. So that's the first friction. Before anything, before husband liking mom more than you or sister or whatever, it's the fact that by the time you're married, you want to run your own household. You're a bull, you know? So there's two bulls won't exist in one place. There's going to be that clash. So already, can you see, there's already conflicts that are even just outside of your marriage that we haven't even spoken about. Then how does your husband relate to them? He could actually be really good and relate to you very well and protect you from them and really try, but just that environment is not pro your marriage. And where we can, I really do advocate that we move. And that's why the Bible says they must leave. The husband must leave. And it doesn't say the wife, because they understand already, in the Bible understand already, that the wife has already left their home. But it says the husband must leave and cleave. You know? Because God understood. He understood the assignment, that this is not going to happen. This union, this confidence is not going to happen with other, you know, hierarchies happening. You must start your own, you know? Yeah.
AC?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I try to spend at most one day at my in-laws.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
I don't want to sleep over, even if the mother-in-law is not there. I try to avoid it. But I think for my situation, me and my wife were very lucky because we started dating very young. We're in high school, so our families kind of got to know each other along the journey, and then so we are all kind of one big family because they communicate outside of us, and you know. So I think that way it's kind of. But I would say if you're having trouble and you can't get out, I think the best thing to do, maybe I'm biased, but I think it would be to speak to your husband. Let him know how you feel. You know, because he kind
about his mother. I'm not trying that part.
Come on, man. He's the
but
best
now
person
you're telling me
to
address
it.
And it's just like you're competing with the mother. I'm so sorry. Maybe I was born a bit later and I don't understand. But
you're saying it's a 1K mindset. So, as a 1K, I'd say speak to your husband, man.
Yeah.
I'd say speak to your husband. Let him know how.
If that doesn't work,
he has to make it work. He's your husband. He has to make it work. It's kind of his duty, because sometimes, you know, we don't really see what's going on or how you're actually feeling. And we feel like, you know, the sisters, the family, they're just being themselves. Oh, that's just their character. That's how they are. You know, just deal with it. But we don't know how it's really affecting the wife. So I think just a very, very honest conversation about your feelings is a very good first step, I would say.
100%.
I agree with that. And if I can just add to what Ghost is saying, is that it probably won't work. This conversation won't work the first time, right?
Oh, okay.
It might not even work the second time. you know. But as you kind of are able to communicate it in not in an emotional way, but in a way that he's going to understand how it's making you feel. That eventually he will see it. But it won't be easy because it is his mom, it is his sister, and he doesn't see them like that.
Yes.
You know? So it won't be a conversation you have once and, oh my gosh, you'll find these beautiful solutions together. And, oh my gosh, the next month you're moving out and you're finding a place. You know? Because also the thing is that we've become that generation where we want things to happen now. And if they're not happening now, it means it's not working out. It means I must leave. I'm leaving. No. Life doesn't work like that. It's like if I think of my dream job, I'm not going to get it tomorrow. I might be even interviewed for it. I might not even get that first interview. I might have to go to another interview. You know what I'm saying? Like life is like that. So yes, the first conversation might be difficult. He might not hear you, might get upset. And then just have the conversation again another time. Make another example, you know? But just so that he ends up starting to see it through your eyes.
100%. Ladies, you did hear it. So this Christmas, if you're having problems at home, please speak to your husband before you decide to move out the following day. Don't move out the following day either. So talk to him. He will understand. It might not work the first time, the second time, or the third time. So I don't know which time will work, but just keep trying. So we move on to, now that it's December, there's a lot of festivals and traditions and mcimbi, all sorts of things happening in December. And you hear, there's a time when we had an instance where it was mcimbi, and one of our family members got fed some form of muti, and they felt very, very sick. So I want to ask, Hore, how do you see or how do you sense something bad within these because it's a good time. You can't necessarily sense anything because most of the time your guard would be down. So how do you sense these things, or how do you protect yourself from being a victim of eating umuti? Like what? My Zulu is not Zulu. Sorry.
No,
yes.
but I hear you very well.
Okay.
So sure, that's a difficult one, right? Because it starts off with just day to day. Do you look after yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because by the time it's December and it's festivities and there's like a whole lot of people and there's parties and there's what, it's too late to now start being careful. Like what practices do you practice to always look after yourself? Do you dish up your own food, for example? Do you know, just normal practices? Like when you go to Mcimbi and somebody dishes up for you and brings you food, you're okay with that? And it's like maybe a buffet and you're supposed to get up and go dish it up yourself. Why are you now okay that somebody, some friend from where or cousin from where now is dishing up for you? You know what I'm saying? It's just those normal practices that when we let our guard down, then we don't practice that hygiene. You have to always have a certain level of hygiene for yourself. That's the first level of protection. You have to have things that you're not okay with. You have to be comfortable that if I'm at a party, for example, because let's not make it about traditional medicine, like how do you get drinks get sparked? You have to be okay that if I'm at a party, I'll always have my drink. I won't leave it and then wander off. It's those practices. So those type of things are there so that we are protecting ourselves. So maybe that's the first thing, right? Practice those hygiene things that you must always have for yourself. You must always have for your kids. You must always have for your husband. You can't have other people dishing up for your husband and then taking him food. Why? Number one, why is he dishing up for himself? Or if not, why are you not dishing up for himself, for your kids? So that's the first level of protection. Just have a certain level of, this is who I am and I do this for myself, I do this for my family. And then the second thing is that it's really hard to be like, oh, you'll get a feeling, oh, you'll do this, because even as a traditional healer, I don't think I walk around with my antenna constantly beeping, oh my gosh, danger this way, danger that way. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not like that, there are instances where there is like an alarm, but it's not that easy, especially during the times of business. But there are things that will happen. You wake up in the morning, you were supposed to go somewhere, and you're not feeling well, don't force to go to that place, because that's maybe the protection that you were being provided. Or you wake up and you're all tired and you're like, actually, I don't feel like it. There's just something in you that's like, I don't want to go there. Don't go. Why force? You know, don't be pressured into going. You know, like when you woke up and you felt like, I don't want to go anymore, then don't go. That's another level of protection. So it's those things that mustn't be overlooked. Those simple practices, and those are the things that keep you safe.
Wow, wise words from Dr. Ntsiki, guys. Did you hear her? Practice good practices throughout the year so that when you reach these instances, you're not necessarily easily a victim, right?
Absolutely.
100%.
Wait, Mahlatsi, what happened to your family member? Were they fine?
Son, they're fine. They're
They're
alive.
fine.
They're
Yes.
okay.
Oh, they lived, yes.
They
He
lived.
lived.
Okay.
He survived. He lived, actually.
Good.
It was at a funeral, I think. For some odd reason, something happened. Someone poured something. And, you know, I've also been a victim of witchcraft a couple of times. Or you were not in on the first episode when we shot it, where I actually sent Hausa a lemon that was put in my fridge, where the lemon was actually cut in half, put herbs inside, and then a thread was tied around the lemon, and it was put in an aluminium foil, and it was put at the ventilator
Back of your
of the
base.
fridge, inside the fridge, so it wouldn't even freeze. When we found it, it was not frozen, but it was rotting in the fridge. So yeah, I was actually diagnosed with asthma at that time. And then when I came back from getting help, I came back and I did not have asthma anymore. I still carry the pump with me every
Just
time
in
as
case,
a reminder.
yes.
No, I've never had to use it before.
Okay.
But I just carry it as a reminder, just to remind me that not everybody is my friend. And that God is there with me and He protected me throughout these things. So now, you know, let's move into, now that we're moving into the new year, the new seasons, and you know, you've had a lot of people in your house, and now it's time to cleanse your house. Everybody has left. It's New Year, everyone went to their houses. How do you recommend
And
cleansing?
they've left all their
things,
foiled
all their foiled lemons
in your fridge. All their foiled lemons in your fridge,
Someone
under
even
your
said
bed,
you
in
should be
between
happy
your
it's not an
couch.
onion. Someone said you should be happy it's not an onion.
Yeah, that's
Apparently
true.
an
And there were
onion
no
is,
chilies.
there were chilies in the lemon. It looked like chili, but they said you
What
should
does
be
that
happy.
do?
It's like a spell, right? When you, so it kind of depicts what that fruit or veg will do. So obviously with chili, it's going to make your life spicy, and not in a nice way, you know, like when we say, oh, it's spicy.
Sour
No.
and spicy.
Sour
Oh,
and chili
snap.
and hot.
So onion would make you cry.
Yeah,
Is that what
because that's even more, exactly.
Oh,
you know,
snap.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you use the energy, because everything has energy, right?
Yeah.
Because we always think witchcraft is like this, I don't know, like airy fairy. No, everything, guys, has energy. Fruits were created, they have energy, vegetables, animals. So you just command that energy of that thing to work in a negative light for someone.
So what does a lemon mean? No one
It's
ever
sour. It's
it's
sour.
sour.
Do you want, it's
Make-
like
make
a
my
sour
life
life,
sour.
babes.
Yay.
You know? Yeah. So these things are real, you know, and I don't even think people need to go to traditional healers anymore to do all these sort of things, because also the things you're finding on social media are crazy. So I just can imagine that now you've had your house, it's been full of people, some that really love you, some that really don't, but they pretend they do. And they've left all this energy there, you know, and sometimes you don't even have to leave a lemon in the back of a fridge. Sometimes you just being in that space and you hate that person and you're constantly repeating negative things over them is leaving that energy, right? Because you've commanded something over their life. You know, oh, Matlatsi this, oh, Matlatsi that, oh, Matlatsi this, oh, and I'm saying all these negative, I'm commanding those things over your life. You know, so witchcraft is not that deep. Like, people think, oh, you must go to Kamhlabuya Lingana through the hills and, no. And you know, the sad thing is that when someone wishes you ill, they almost obsess over it. You know, the same way that you don't obsess over good over your life. You don't constantly wake up and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so great. Oh my gosh, I'm so this. Oh my
No, you
gosh, I'm so
don't.
that. I'm so, yeah, you know, which would then help fight that negative energy, right? Which is what affirmations we're digressing. But anyway, quickly, which is what affirmations are about. You are just inviting positive energy over your life. You know, oh, great, Ntsiki, you look so good, you're amazing, it's going to be an amazing day. You're just commanding good and positive energy over your life to try and fade away all these negative energy that is sent to you, whether you like it or not. You know, there are people that won't like you for
whatever reason.
So anyway, all these people have been into your house and they've left all this funky energy. Number one, spring cleaning is important, guys. Cleanliness is close to godliness. It is a true story. Spring cleaning is important. Clean your energy, like your space. Spring clean under the beds. Take the couches, put the pillows aside, sweep, clean. It's really important.
Behind the fridge.
Behind the fridge, inside the fridge, take the things out of the fridge, you know, those type of things. Cupboards, clear the cupboards, take the dishes out, repack them. Also, it sets the energy moving, you know. Now you're moving energy. Moving energy is good. It brings light, you know, because when things are dirty and it's stagnant energy, it's unhealthy, you know. So number one, spring cleaning is important. You can use the same salt that you pray over the water, put the salt in, and you can mop with that. So it's simple practices, you know. So things like that. You can burn incense if you a person that burn incense. You can burn sage, white sage. You can burn lavender, you know, because those things then refresh the air, refresh the energy that is flowing inside your home. And then you can do that for yourself as well, right? So you've cleansed your space, cleanse yourself. The same way we were speaking about earlier, you can use those kind of treatment modalities to then cleanse yourself. You can do it for your kids when they're about to start school. Cleanse them. Just pray over your kids, guys. Pray over your kids. Wash them with water. As you wash them, pray over them. Speak light over them. Speak light constantly over them. Don't, when you are upset with your kids, say, when you're so dumb. Why would you say that? You know, because then you are kind of speaking that life over your child. Address what is wrong. You know, when the Bible says that with our tongue we can create, it is really just that. That's all it is. So we must create all the positive and beautiful things that we want. And that's what you do. The year starts off, you've cleansed, and now you want to speak over life. Do a vision board if that's what you do. I'm not about kind of what do people do at the beginning of the year?
New Year resolutions.
Resolutions, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm not that girl. I don't believe about resolutions because I feel like they hold you ransom. But speak life over your life, and which is why I maybe like vision boards a little bit more, because you're kind of like dreaming of, this is how my life is going to be, or how it is. It's more positive.
Okay. So, AC, do you have anything to add in regards to that?
I'm setting up a vision board. Yeah, my woman is into those kinds of things, and like you're saying, I think she's gonna love this episode. The burning of the sage and the diffusers and stuff. She's into that stuff. She's our house is always smelling like different countries every day. It's like you know, there's like Palo Santo from India. There's this from that. Yeah. So no, I think she's gonna enjoy this episode, and I like resolutions, but that's my thing. But I barely keep up with them, anyways.
See, that's the thing, right? Yeah. Because when you set a resolution, it's almost like a task, right? Yeah. When you create a resolution, it's a tasking. So you are tasking yourself instead of speaking that into existence into your life. Right? That's just, it's a similar type of thing. It's just how you word it. Like, you know, instead of like, oh, I must lose weight this year, I'm going to lose weight this year. You know, you're saying that this is what I'm going to do. So it's just literally the same type of thing, but just wording it differently brings a different, even in your mind, you perceive it a little bit differently, and then you chase it a little bit differently, you know. But once you say, I must do this, it's these tasks, and tasks get tedious, you know. And then when life happens and work has other tasks, your personal task, kind of take a background, like a back seat, right? But if you are saying that this is my vision for the year, it's part of who you are. Whether the work is hectic, but this is who I am. I'm a person who's losing weight. I'm a person who's eating healthy. That's who I am. I'm a person who's making a lot of money. Yep. That's who I am. You know, because I
need to be that person that makes a lot of money. I need to be that person that makes a lot of money.
You are. No.
Oh yes, I am. I am a person that makes a lot of money, guys. Yeah. I'm a person that makes a lot of money.
I'm a person who just Yes, I'm a person who doesn't ever run out of money. In fact, I'm a wealthy person. I'm born into abundance. That's who I am.
Hey,
You see?
Hey.
I like that. Yeah,
Mina on New Year's I go like, Amen God. But let's go. You know, I don't set any goals like that. I'm not very good at setting goals because I'm one person.
Mm-hmm.
If I think of something this week, it's happening next month. I don't want things staying in my mind. So in January, when people, normally what I do is I don't even go to the gym in Jan.
Right.
Because I know everybody's on a goal,
annoying.
on a situation.
Oh,
So I rest in Jan.
Guys, I go to the gym 5 days a week, every month, any month. There are months that I wish that I don't have to go because the resolution people, they are there.
Yes.
Jan until March.
And
Actually,
then-
it's become mid-Feb now. I see they are. They're not lasting as long as they used to. It's the worst
It's
time
slacking.
to be at the gym.
I know. Normally, I do the best I can do in December.
Yeah.
And January, the whole of Jan, I don't go. Because
I like that, actually.
I don't want to be fighting a treadmill with someone who hasn't been using it for the past 10 months. Like, what are you doing here?
Hey, we
this
will
is
be
my
there.
treadmill. Why are you here? Now I must wait for you. And you can see where you are dying. My sister, get off. I can do 45 minutes. It's okay. You, 10 minutes later. And you know, the incline. And you can see we are all on goals. Like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Or the other side is that, we are all in these matching outfits, looking good, and just walking and on our phones, and we're here to work, my sister.
What are you?
We're
What
here
do
to
you
work.
mean?
Come on. Some of us, we need to work. But I like that idea. I think I'm going to maybe just run in Jan because also it'll just be good for my sanity. Because then it annoys me. Like, gym is a happy place. But in Jan and Feb, I'm just like,
Nope.
I'm constantly just
Run on the road. Like,
I love
do
that. I
road run.
actually think I'm gonna do that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't even enter the gym on days that it's busy. I run on the road.
I like that. And you can pause your
Yes.
membership. That's what I will do, actually. I'll pause my membership
Oh,
for
for
Jan.
Jan.
Yeah, because then I won't go. And then I'll
It's
run.
a mess.
It is. It really is. And then I'll see them Feb. Yeah, I like that idea.
So we spoke about cleansing the place where people have been visiting, but now this is a new place. You don't know who's been staying there. You don't know what was happening, what kind of person, what kind of cultures or traditions they were performing in that apartment that they were staying in, and now you just moved into a new apartment. So what should that person do who's moving to a new apartment before they even move their stuff, or after they've moved their stuff, maybe within the first 7 days of actually living there?
Okay, guys, so I'm going to wear a different hat. I'm going to move from being a spiritual enthusiast and being a traditional healer. This is very important. Cleansing a space before you move in is very important. And the reason it is important because, number one, you didn't know who stayed there. You don't know what their spiritual practices were. You don't know what they have left there. You don't know any of it. And you are going to move into the space that has all these energies running around, all sorts of things. Guys, the things that people do, you can't even imagine with your mind. So it is important to cleanse a space before you move in. Other things you can do by yourself? Absolutely. There are many, right? Same things that we were talking about of cleaning the space, saging it. Palo Santo is really good. White sage is really good. Lavender is really good. Just normal dried lavender, and you burn it in that space. All those things are really good. And then you can move in. But once you feel like a space, there's some energy happening, please seek help. Find your pastor if that's what you believe in, and ask them to come and pray over the space. If you believe in traditional healing, go to your traditional healer and be like, I've moved into a new space. I'm not sure about the energy. Can you cleanse it? It's really important because, unfortunately, the things that people leave when they move out of houses can really be hectic.
Yeah, because I'm asking because of when I moved here, I didn't have problems, right? But when I moved my son here, he couldn't sleep at night for months. And when he would go back home, he would sleep.
Yeah.
And here he wouldn't sleep, he'd cry at night, say there's people chasing him, he's having a nightmare, his uncle is strangling him, and he lives with the uncle as well. It's like, why would he strangle? You see him every day and you trust him, and it was just that kind of issue. And someone said that I must always have purple spirit as well as JS flute in my house and always use them to clean the house,
Yeah.
which we did, and it didn't work. And then we moved on to, what did we move on to? Just mopping with salt, no soap and whatever. Still didn't work. And when I told my mom, she was like, no, you don't have to go out and about and consult with these things. When are you just like to bring things to yourself? Because it's just a child, you know. And Google says it's night terrors and they last until 9 years old. And I was there like, 3 more years for this? No ways.
Sure.
So, and then someone said to me, no, take onion shavings and burn them in the house. And wow,
Yeah.
it has worked wonders. It's been a month now, month and a half actually, without any incident.
Yeah. You know why kids are more sensitive than we are? It's because the younger you are, again, I remember I said I'm not diplomatic.
Yes.
Okay, great. I want to remind that I'm not, the younger you are, the more connected you still are to the spirit world. We are spirit beings, right, in human bodies, right? But the younger we are more spirit beings than we are the physical. Unfortunately, the older we get, the more we focus on the physical and we lose the fact that we are spirit beings. So from the time you're a baby, they are in essence just spirit beings with just these bodies, right? And that's why they are so sensitive then to the energies and the spirits that exist when we might not be sensitive to it anymore. That's why then kids can't sleep, or they'll get into a place and they will cry and cry. And you don't understand, this child was not sick. There was nothing wrong with them. Why are they crying like this? Because they can feel the spirits with the energy in that area, you know? Or all of a sudden you go home, December, and then the child is sick. They were completely healthy. They unfortunately are still so that's why kids will always feel, you know. So yeah, that's probably why you didn't feel it, you know, because you've gotten a bit older and you're not so in touch with that spirit part, you know. Or the other thing is that you've gotten older and you've found ways to protect your spirit, which they don't, because they don't understand that they need to, right? So you have that layer of protection happening, you know. Mhlambe usuke wagcatshwa, or you wear beads, or you wear intambo, whatever. There's some kind of protection that keeps you safe that they don't have. So that's why kids then will either really not be well, they won't sleep, they will cry, they will get sick repeatedly, because they are still kind of sensitive to what is happening. So onion shavings work really well. Yeah, there's lots of things, guys, like simple things, you know, like God created these herbs and these fruits and these vegetables and these, you know, and he said we have complete dominion over them. And they all serve a purpose. Like there is something more than just the fact that onions is for us to cook. We fry them before we put our meat. No, there's so much more, like, you know, healing. Like, you know, if your child has an earache, you cut the onion, you put it in the microwave, you make it warm, you put it behind the ear, and it draws out that infection. There's so much more that an onion does.
I didn't know. I just thought when I was told, at least it's not an onion. I just figured an onion is a bad one, hey? I just figured an onion is a bad one. So we're going to get into the last part of the interview where we ask you about your experience as a doctor and a traditional healer at the same time. How do you balance that out? Because you're always with people and, you know, spirituality and people.
So I am kind of always with people, but also kind of not. You know, when I was younger, I struggled a lot with this before understanding why it was such a struggle to be around people. You know, I always just thought people are annoying, but, you know, it's because by being seen that they were heavy on my spirit, on myself, you know. So the older I got, I understood that a little bit more. So I am with people. My work requires that I'm with people quite a lot. I'm a public speaker, so I'm with people a lot there. But I found ways of rejuvenating myself where I just kind of self-isolate. You know, even at home, they know that mommy just needs that 2 hours of just absolute silence in her room to just kind of recoup myself. You know, I do a different cleanses on myself to kind of rid myself of spirits that I, you know, if I'm helping people, especially in the traditional healing space. So I do a lot of cleanses on myself. I have routines that I've put in place that really help me center. I wake up and I meditate or just be in silence. I don't wake up quickly. I don't up and then I must, no. I get up and I just quiet time to listen, to set intentions over my day, and then I work, and then I go from that quietness, I go to the gym and I work out before my day starts. So it's just certain things that I've put in place to kind of help me manage people fatigue, as I might call it. Yeah.
So as a doctor, are there some times where you get a patient at the hospital and then you just think, why
are you stealing my question? We were just talking about this earlier.
Okay,
go ahead. It's fine. It's fine.
I think it was the other way around. Yeah. But like when you look at a patient, you're like, "Well, it's better than get 6 years away." You need to go see a traditional healer. Your problem is not going to be solved by any medicine that a hospital has. Is there any situation that, obviously I don't want to dox you or if you might get into trouble,
like ethical
for that, but are there sometimes where you think that at the very least?
Yes, absolutely. Lots of times. Lots of times, especially things around mental health, things around the uterus, things around anxieties and acid, and those things are always have more than just a physical meaning, more times than not in any case. Or actually sometimes it's just you don't look after yourself and you need better physical wellness. But yes, many instances that has happened, right? And to such an extent that I actually don't practice clinical medicine in isolation anymore. I don't practice clinical medicine in isolation anymore. I run kind of like a holistic kind of wellness thing where I treat you traditionally, but also where I feel like, this is not a spiritual thing. It actually needs physical healing, outside of just natural herbs, and you actually might need a certain treatment. So I almost run this very holistic, collaborative type of practice now, where I don't just do Western medicine anymore. I don't work in a hospital. Yeah.
You don't work in a hospital anymore?
No. I don't do clinical medicine in the Western sense of it. Yes. I don't practice pure Western medicine
anymore.
So when someone comes to your clinic, you'll assess them and you determine which of the two is going to work for them.
Yeah, so most times than not, people actually come to see me because they know that I'm a naturalist. Right, but also because they know that I'm also a doctor. So they will come then rather complaining of certain symptoms, but with the understanding that they have gone to just pure medicine doctors and they've not found healing. And now they want to understand what's causing this ailment and how can we remedy it? How can we actually find the root cause and heal the root cause? So that's the medicine I practice now, where I actually try to find root causes of what is wrong with you. Are you needing supplement, vitamin D? All people of color need vitamin D. We don't get enough, things like that. So I am a holistic healer. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. That's great. Definitely, because sometimes someone will come in with cancer stage 4 and there's not much you can do about it. And I think that's great knowledge because you can tell them and assess them properly in both the medical space as well as the healing space, because that helps. Because, when we grew up, there were dramas around. Remember when HIV was still like a thing for educational purposes, where they would actually now, they would say, no, stop drinking your Western medicine. Me as a traditional healer can help you. And then a lot of people actually didn't make it from that. So I think it does kind of help because it keeps a bit of honesty. Absolutely. If it was possible, I would wish the traditional healers that we see have some form of medicine training as well, so that if it's just migraines, it's just migraines. And sometimes I appreciate when I go to someone and they go like, you better go rest. You must rest.
You have poor practices. You don't look after yourself.
Please.
Yeah.
No one is within you.
No. You actually have good aura. You're fine.
Please, before you pick up anything here.
Go. And I'm actually, there's actually a lot of trainings now that happen for traditional healers.
Oh, okay.
I know because I've been part of a lot of projects where, you know, they get to learn about first aid, but also just certain symptoms that need patients to go to the hospital, either because it's urgent or because really they might have, you know, certain viruses or illnesses that actually need to be treated. So there's a lot of initiatives going into kind of finding a way where Western medicine is in partnership with traditional African traditional healing.
I mean, that's amazing. You also spoke about something to do with mental health and the uterus. I'm going to start with the uterus first. Just to finish off, I'm going to start with the uterus first. What is it that women should keep doing in order to keep their uterus safe from having to see the doctor and having to see the traditional healer?
Mahlati, we're going to need a whole new episode for this. Because it is definitely not a one-liner.
Oh, okay.
No, it's deep. I mean, it's the place in which you create life, right? So not only is it a physically deep thing, but it's a spiritually deep thing, right? We need a whole sit down. But we'll be back with a wellness talk thing, yeah.
Definitely.
But some of the just practices that we have to really just kind of look after ourselves. Our sexual practices are important. Our cleansing practices are important. How we eat is important. How we supplement. You see, it's really multi-layered. So we see a lot of infertility now, and sometimes it's just that you need supplements. You're not well supplemented. Vitamin D being one of the most important, so things like that. Yeah, so it's quite, it's intense.
All right. AC, anything else before we close?
No. Nothing from me. But yeah, I think it was very educating. I think we probably need to have a second episode.
Definitely.
Also. Yeah. Especially with the questions you had just started now. But I think I'm gonna bookmark this for my woman. It's basically her episode the whole way through. But
amazing stuff. Anything else before we close, Dr. Ntsiki?
Number one, I love that, and please tell her we're gonna have a vision board party at the beginning of the year. Where a whole lot of us ladies are gonna sit down and create our vision boards.
Yeah.
We do that every year. And
really?
Yes,
definitely. We are.
It's like
me and her are going to the party.
Yeah, it's a sip and vision create.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the year, we usually have a whole lot of stationery there and stuff, boards and stuff, and you can come with whatever specific pictures that you might want to have for yourself. But otherwise, stationery is there's everything, and we just sip and we create. Then after that, we kind of just all kind of wish well over your board, and it's a nice party.
In this case, I will be there.
Absolutely.
It sounds amazing because
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's
I'll stop winging the year.
No, please don't wing. No, don't wing the year. No, because then you'll go, if the wind is going this way, you go that way. No, we're not winging. 2026, we are excelling.
Amazing. Yes, we are. I winged the 2025 into a podcast. I mean,
I love that. Okay, maybe winging is your thing.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Ntsiki, for joining us. This was amazing, educational, and I hope everybody's going to find this as amazing and as educational. So, guys, please don't forget to follow us on social media at Said Podcast, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.